Who is an influencer? What is their responsibility, and how does one become an influencer? Hello beautiful people, my name is Priscilla. Welcome to Prissy Carlos. In today's video we are talking about influencers, but firstly we need to understand who an influencer is. An influencer is a person that has the power to affect the decisions of others because of their authority, their position, their knowledge, or a relationship with a particular audience. It could be a church or a nation or a following on social media or whatever kind of community where somebody is actively engaged. Some people think that being famous and having a huge social media following are the only things that qualify one to be an influencer. But I think that everybody is an influencer in their own right. I mean, you are good at something, you're known for something. Imagine out of all 8 billion plus people, you're the only one who is known for what you do, who is good at what you do. So you are an influencer in your own right. It's very important to note that being an influencer is a calling. I know that to some people, they don't even know how they go to those places of authority. I mean, people just love you, they do what you tell them to do, they love what you love. But regardless of how you go to that place of authority, whether you intended it or not, now that you're there, the first thing that should never leave you is humility. The state and purity of your heart determines how far you can go. You see, the state of your heart is the primary place of purification of conscience. I believe that you have seen so many people in this world, the more they became famous is the more we stopped hearing about them. We do not know what happened to them. Right now, if you mention their names, they would never ring a bell. The purification of conscience comes from our places of obedience. You know, those small little things that may not seem important, but they really affect your life as an influencer. It's that thing in you that helps you ignore a hate comment when you have the words to respond. You know, it's that thing that will help you ignore a trending topic even if you have an opinion. It's the thing that will help you hold back your peace in instances where you have to defend yourself and prove yourself to men in certain situations. But this purity of conscience will cause you to hold back your peace because, like I've mentioned in my earlier videos, you know that it's more important to lose the battles and win the war. Some people will agree with you and others won't. It's a character, it's something that has to be cultivated in you. It has nothing to do with who agrees with you or who doesn't agree with you. It's from within out. It's about you impacting that one life in the world. How do you respond to things? How do you react to critics? How do you respond when big brands approach you? How do you react to the increasing fame? You cannot be an influencer and have an indifferent spirit and heart. Look at the Bible and see every man that the Lord blessed a certain way, every man that was used of God, people that we would call celebrities if they lived in our present day life. Look at how they reacted to circumstances. Look at how they responded in hard situations. That's how you should be as an influencer. That's the thing that will sustain you. Learn from those people. Have a vision, understand it, and work with it. There is no influencer I have seen with a vision who does not deliberately pattern their life. You don't just do things by impulse, you do things by pattern. Put a certain order in your sphere of influence. You don't just post, you don't just vlog, you don't just do business with anybody, you do not just tweet, you don't just comment on anything, you do not just make appearances for interviews. You do not just get excited because the press wants to speak to you and you just go out and say things that you didn't even plan to say. No, you have to be deliberate. Pray deliberately, believe deliberately. Your name didn't go out there by mistake. You didn't find yourself in that place of authority by mistake. No, they don't contact you by mistake. The brands don't come to you by mistake. There is something about you. So be deliberate in everything that you're doing. Whatever beautiful, good thing is coming your way has to find you in your sphere of influence doing exactly what you're doing. Your whole life is ordained. So pattern it. Let me give you an example. If a certain brand wants to associate with you as an influencer, then you yourself have to understand their vision or the revelation of their brand. You have to understand what they want you to sell to the audience, what they believe in, their core values and all that. If you understand them and they sit in well with who you are as a person, then it will be very easy for you to sell them to your audience. But that doesn't mean that every brand that is going to come to you as an influencer is an opportunity for you to take on. You have to first think, does it sit in well with what you believe in? Understand the nature of your audience, what they believe in, what they know about you. If it sits in well with you, then it will be very easy for you to sell it out to your audience as well. But if it doesn't, then you have to think about it, probably pray about it, or just leave it and wait for the next available opportunity. Use your head as an influencer. Have common sense. Do not be easily lured into marvel. Not every option that is very attractive is yours to take on. Sometimes you need to be really slow at decision making. Take your time to research about the brand, research about whatever it is that they want you to sell. Does it fit in your faith? Does it align with what you believe in? Is it in sync with your core values? Does it sit in well with your particular kind of audience? You have to put all those things into consideration before you choose to associate with a certain brand or to sell something to your community, because these are people who believe in you. They follow you. If it's a product, does it work well? Does it do what it says it does? Does it have any side effects? You need to do all that research because you have a huge following and they look up to you. You need to be a good and exemplary leader and lay down your life for them. Take time to understand the terms of the contract. Be sure that you understand everything so nothing can be used against you in the future. Be loyal to your audience, to your church, to people in your niche, to your clients, to your fellow influencers, to your following on social media. In whatever capacity that you're in as an influencer, you need to be loyal. Even when it's time to leave or maybe disassociate, let's say from maybe a brand, or when you've come to the end of a contract, do it with dignity. That way you'll be seen as somebody that it's easy to work with, somebody that everybody wants to associate with, to only attract more brand deals on your side, and also it won't cause any strife among your audience. So do everything in loyalty. Like I mentioned earlier, that being an influencer is a calling, and part of it comes with being a good leader. So you need to understand who a good leader is. A leader is somebody that acts to give direction or answers to an individual or a group of people, but most importantly to the self. You cannot be an influencer and not lead. And usually you have the compassion for people. It's like a burden pressed on your life to always impact a life at all times, and you realize with time that the burden goes before your needs. So you're not out there trying to prove your progress to the world. No, of course the fame will come, you'll be known, you'll go places, or you're going to earn a lot of money, but you realize with time that doesn't even count, but every milestone you achieve in the potential God has placed in you. That way you won't even need to fake your life, because progress does not advertise. It just has a way of gripping you in purpose than vindication. So you don't have to try hard, to prove to people that you eat well, you have a married life, you're earning this, you are living a comfortable life. That won't be necessary. The genuinely happy people don't even seek attention. So you don't have to try hard. Just be satisfied that you are doing what God called you to do and you're impacting a life. And if you're being paid for it, that's even a bonus. Your work shall not mock you. Lastly but not least, build and do not break. There is a scripture in the Bible that says, if I break the very things that I build, I become a transgressor. What do I mean by this? Gossip breaks. Slander breaks. I can never get tired of saying these things on my channel because I hate the spirit of gossip and slander, because it does not only hurt the people that you're gossiping about, it also hurts you. You're wounding people's spirits. Just because something is trending does not confirm that it's true. You have to first be sure. Do not just dwell on rumors. Respect the audience that God has given you. Respect your power, your authority. Don't use it for vice. If you had something, or maybe there's a trending topic, before you jump onto it, have you done your research? Are you sure that it's true? Yes, a certain vlogger maybe said something bad about you, and you are right to be angry, but before you go out there to tweet it on your Twitter account or to put it anywhere on your social media platforms, have you talked to the person? I'll quote my father, Apostle Grace Lubeka of Phaneroo Ministries. In such a situation, he told us that any conviction that is based on reason without consideration of divine principle is in all forms deception. Yes, it's true, you might be hurt, your reputation might be ruined and all that, but before you go out there to put it on social media, because that doesn't even make you right. But what does the Bible say? Go to the person and talk to them the first time, and the second time go with a witness. I mean, simple principles. Those are things that we should be looking at. We as influencers, as exemplary people, not everything is about causing chaos and fighting over social media. Because you have a huge following, you're going to cause strife, and before you know it all, there is Team A and Team B. I am for Team A, I'm for Team B. People are fighting, and in your audience there are even families in those teams. So you're even breaking God's mind of community in its smallest unit, and that's not the idea of an influencer. That's not being a good leader. You're breaking all the principles of love. So just take time and think. So the fact that you're tweeting about it or posting about it on your social media, yes, they hurt you. You go and rant about it, pouring out your frustrations on your platforms. Does that make you right? Does that change things? Does that take away what they said about you? Or does it make you feel better? Does it take the hurt away? No, it doesn't. You cannot be right in conviction and wrong in principle and think that you're justified. No, things don't work that way. Sometimes you really need to first think about these things. Don't react out of anger. Not everything that people are writing about is true. People just write these days to make money, to make a living. Some people know every trending story on the internet except the state of their hearts. The responsibility of an influencer is way too broad compared to what people think it is. I've only shared a few of them in this video, so you can let me know if I can keep sharing more of those by liking this video and commenting in the comment section below. And not only that, if you want to talk about life, entrepreneurship, things nobody is talking about, then you are welcome to subscribe to my channel. Turn your notification bell on so you're just in time for fresh wisdom. I love you. Stay blessed and see you in my next video.